I was planning on talking about another topic today, but life had other plans. As I sit down to record this episode, my heart is heavy with extremely shocking and heartbreaking news. I cannot believe that I'm about to talk in the past tense about him. Today, we respectfully mourn the loss of a legend, a titan of Indian classical music, the extremely loved and extremely respected tabla maestro, Zakir Hussain. I'm Chaani Srivastav, and you're listening to the Lock, Stock, and Barrel podcast. When I first saw him perform live, I was steeped into my Bharatanatyam practice, and his electrifying yet soothing energy on stage took me in completely. I was a convert for life from the word go, and wouldn't leave a single chance from that day to witness his magic whenever I got the chance. Whether it was his childlike smile, his sense of humor, the respect he gave, his humility with which he received admiration, or the reverence for his craft. As a budding performing artist, I wanted to emulate it all. It's times like these when we lose someone we respect and admire so deeply that we are forced to confront our own mortality. Grief, often seen as a weakness in our fast paced, results driven world, is actually a profound strength. It's a testament to the depth of our human connections, the love we share for our community, and the impact we have on each other's lives constantly. And because we usually discuss topics that are seemingly different and weave them together to help achieve modern entrepreneurial dreams, it's important to pause, to reflect, to grieve, and to learn something from the rhythm of Zakir Hussain's grand life. Days like these compel us to rethink different facets of our mortal lives and prod us to embrace our own vulnerabilities. A study by the Grief Recovery Institute in 2003 revealed a startling truth. Grief costs businesses a staggering $75 billion dollars annually, but the impact on employees is even more profound. The pandemic, which happened 17 years later, was a collective moment of loss and of uncertainty that exasperated these challenges. The isolation and inability to grieve properly took a toll on mental health worldwide. As leaders, we have a responsibility to create supportive and empathetic work environments across the board. When we can understand and process our own emotions, we become more empathetic, more compassionate, and better equipped to lead others. It's not just about being human, it's about being effective leaders. This is particularly crucial in today's world where technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace. As we grapple with the ethical implications of artificial intelligence, we must never lose sight of the human element of reflection. Grief usually brings to sharp focus all that was good and worth holding on to as lessons for life. Zakir Hussein's legacy is a reminder that true greatness comes from a balance of skill, passion, and compassion. So today, let's talk about his life, the positive cultural impact he had, and draw lessons from his personality that was a fine balance of technical prowess and the quintessential liberal arts values. In the realm of Indian classical music, where tradition and innovation intertwine, there exists a name that resonates with unparalleled brilliance and artistry. That's Zakir Hussain. His name is synonymous with the rhythmic pulse of India. He was born into a family steeped in musical heritage, and his journey began under the tutelage of his legendary father, Ustad Allah Rakha. When he was brought home as a newborn, in a complete departure from tradition, Ustad Allah Rakha, instead of reading the Adhan or the statement of faith in the baby's ear, whispered the rhythms of the tabla into his son's ear, instilling a deep rooted love for music from the very beginning. At the tender age of 4, Zakir Hussain embarked on his formal training with his father. His innate talent and unwavering dedication quickly propelled him to the forefront of the tabla world. By the age of 7, he was already captivating audiences with his mesmerizing performances, earning the title of a child prodigy. While deeply rooted in the classical traditions of India, Zakir was a visionary who embraced cross cultural collaborations and innovations. Having lived in San Francisco with his wife and daughters for over 4 decades, he was in the company of the creme de la creme of his ilk. It gave him the freedom to fearlessly experiment with various musical styles, collaborating with renowned musicians from across the globe. His groundbreaking work with the band Shakti alongside John McLaughlin, L. Shankar, and T.H. Vikku Vinayakaram redefined the boundaries of world music. Shakti's fusion of Indian classical music, Western jazz, and rock not only captivated audiences, but also inspired countless musicians. I will leave the link of their 1976 album, A Handful of Beauty, in the description box below so you can experience the magic for yourself too. Shakti explored the idea of spontaneous improvisation, which was unparalleled in the universe of music, and it was probably the first group of its kind to have explored without limit this one salient feature that is common between Indian music and Western jazz. In one of the interviews, Zakir exclaimed that the most important fact was that we, the Shakti team, were young enough to allow for musical sacrilege, so we could ignore the restrictions imposed on us by our respective traditions in the interest of finding a road towards oneness. The connoisseurs at that time frowned upon interactions between South and North Indian musicians. We were young and game enough, unfortunately away from India and critics or so called well wishers who would have been happy to give us negative advice. And so we were totally comfortable running amok on the Tal road. There we were, four musicians from varied backgrounds sitting on a stage platform in Indian style and with complete conviction playing music that was never heard before. It was a totally positive offering. The energy of four as one was strong. We were confident that our musical statement would become valid and accepted as a road to traverse that would eventually lead to what is now known as world music. And it truly did. As someone who talks routinely about impact entrepreneurship and advises on the intersection of business, law, and policy, I would not shy away from calling him a risk taker and a disruptor in the industry he dominated for 7 whole decades. His discography is a testament to this disruptor and revolutionary leader who shook the world music industry with his ability to blend tradition with contemporary sounds, creating a unique and powerful music language of his own. Zakir Hussein's influence extended far beyond the realm of music. He ventured into film, composing scores for both Indian and international cinema, and his contributions to films like Heat and Dust, The Little Buddha, and his special appearances in movies like SARS and more recently The Monkey Man showcased his versatility and the range of his artistic prowess. But it was his unwavering commitment to preserving and promoting Indian classical music that truly set him apart. He was a true patriot and a tireless cultural ambassador as he established the Zakir Hussain Institute of Music Research dedicated to nurturing young talent and fostering cultural exchange. Playing a significant role in India's soft power and diplomacy through his music, he pioneered new avenues for the dissemination of Indian classical music to a global audience, helping to position India as a cultural powerhouse. His humility and grace projected a positive image of India as a nation of art, culture, and spirituality globally. Very early on, he definitely became a symbol of India's soft power, showcasing the country's ability to influence through cultural diplomacy, winning countless accolades worldwide. Still, his legacy is not merely confined to his musical achievements. His legacy lies in his leadership and his ability to inspire generations of musicians and music lovers alike by following his intellectual curiosity, creativity, and adaptability. His music will continue to echo through the ages, reminding us of the power of art to transcend boundaries and unite hearts. In 2016, Dr. Drew Faust, the then president of Harvard University, delivered a captivating speech at the United States Military Academy at West Point. She addressed a crowd of nearly 800 cadets and faculty, where she extolled the virtues of the liberal arts, a seemingly unconventional topic for a military audience. While this might surprise some, the power of a well rounded education, especially one rooted in the humanities, is a cornerstone of this podcast. It's a philosophy that has guided my life, my work, and has now become the leitmotif of this podcast as well. Echoing this sentiment, Dr. Faust's lecture, Leadership and Literature, urged the future leaders of the US military to embrace the liberal arts completely. She argued that critical thinking, empathy, and problem solving skills honed through the study of humanities are essential not just in the classroom but also on the battlefield. Force encouraged the cadets Force encouraged the cadets to keep a copy of Homer's Iliad close at hand, suggesting that the timeless wisdom of literature can help us navigate the complexities of life even in the most challenging circumstances. She emphasized that the liberal arts equip us to scrutinize what's at hand, even through the thick dust of danger or drama or disorienting strangeness. I believe that immersing oneself in literature and other disciplines of humanities allows us to develop a deep understanding of human nature and of the world around us. So, the only way we can cultivate the essential qualities of leadership is through empathy, critical thinking, and the ability to solve complex problems. It is only through holistic education that we can empower ourselves to empathize with diverse perspectives and challenge our own assumption for total growth. In this light, just think about Zakir Hussain's life. His mastery of rhythm and his ability to seamlessly blend tradition with innovation are a testament to the power of holistic education. His deep understanding of Indian classical music, coupled with his innate creativity, allowed him to transcend cultural boundaries and captivate his audiences. In our age of rapid technological advancement, it's easy to get caught up in the allure of STEM degrees and coding boot camps. But let's pause and consider the words of Steve Jobs. He said, "It's technology married with liberal arts, married with the humanities, that yields us the results that make our hearts sing." With this, you shouldn't be surprised to learn that tech giants like Apple recognize the power of a liberal arts education in their business. Apple University, their internal training program, brings in renowned philosophers and professors from prestigious institutions across the globe as they understand that a well rounded holistic education rooted in the humanities and liberal arts is essential to foster innovation and creativity for a tech venture. While STEM degrees and coding boot camps continue to dominate the conversation, it's important now and then to remember that true innovation isn't just about technical skills. It's about the ability to think critically, solve complex problems, and communicate ideas effectively. A liberal arts education equips one with these essential skills, making them more adaptable and a valuable asset in the ever evolving job market. Long term studies have shown that liberal art graduates often excel in leadership roles and experience higher levels of job satisfaction. Their ability to think outside the box, empathize with others, and navigate ambiguity allows them to thrive in a world that's constantly changing. As one considers their educational path, one mustn't underestimate the power of this type of education, especially at the school and the undergraduate levels. It's not just about acquiring knowledge, it is always about cultivating a mindset that will enable you to succeed in our times. When we conjure the image of Mark Zuckerberg, a solitary genius coding Facebook into existence brings to mind. However, this oversimplified narrative obscures the intricate tapestry of his journey. Take Chris Hughes, for instance, a history major at Harvard. He brought a profound understanding of human society to the table. Zuckerberg himself, with his background in psychology and his time at the liberal arts powerhouse Exeter, defies the stereotype of a pure techie. His immersion in ancient Greek and Latin, even earning accolades in classical studies, reveals a multifaceted upbringing that undoubtedly shaped his vision and the very essence of the platform that he created. This resonates deeply with my own experiences as I've witnessed firsthand the power of blending technical expertise with a liberal arts background. It was during my time at Berkeley, a bastion of interdisciplinary study, that I encountered Scott Hartley's book, The Fuzzy and the Techie, and it felt like the story of my life. Hartley's work challenges the false dichotomy between the fuzzies, who are from the arts, humanities, and social sciences, and the techies, who are from the hard sciences and engineering backgrounds. By examining the curricula of history, economics, and political science, we see the increasing quantification of social sciences. Conversely, fields like mechanical engineering now embrace design thinking and psychological principles. This convergence of disciplines is not merely a trend, it's a revolution. Silicon Valley, often perceived as a bastion of technical prowess, belies this stereotype. A significant portion of its workforce hails from the social sciences, the humanities, and from the arts. The truth is, these skills are in high demand, particularly in the tech industry. I've always been drawn to stories of individuals who defy expectations. One such example that finds mention even in the book is that of Shivani Siroya, who, like me, grew up in Udaipur, where she cultivated a deep sense of empathy and of observation. Even she studied and worked in India before going for her higher studies to the US, where she delved into international relations and health economics. Her academic and professional experiences, coupled with her time at the UN and Citigroup, ignited a passion within her for empowering the underprivileged. Tala, a tech platform, is Shivani's brainchild as a result of this thought process. And it's a testament to the power of technology and human connection. Tala is a unique digital platform that leverages the data on our smartphones to assess creditworthiness, enabling millions in developing countries to access the much needed financial services that they are usually deprived of. I relate with Shivani's approach, as she didn't just create a tech solution, she built a bridge between the tech world and the real world needs of people. She contributed to the Tech for Good movement by combining her liberal arts background with cutting edge technology to redefine the future of finance. Tala's success is a powerful reminder that the liberal arts aren't just a luxury, they are a necessity. They equip us with critical thinking and the ability to see the world from multiple perspectives. As we navigate an increasingly complex world, it's these very skills that will truly set us apart in every industry. These are the skills that I fall back on in everything I do, whether it is my legal advisory, sustainability consultancy, while teaching my tech law course, and through my other speaking engagements and keynotes. It's a message I carry to audiences worldwide, emphasizing the crucial role of interdisciplinary thinking in driving innovation and solving complex problems. It's a message I carry to audiences worldwide that resonates particularly strongly at events like South by Southwest, where artists, technologists, and visionaries converge to push the boundaries of human potential. This year, I'm determined to bring my panel at the South by Southwest conference to highlight this message by delving deeper into the pressing issues of AI ethics. I believe that the time is ripe to take stock of the unprecedented pace of artificial intelligence advancement and recognize the urgency to develop a robust ethical framework for its development. And this endeavor requires a collaborative effort between technologists, ethicists, philosophers, and social scientists. It is only when we draw upon these diverse perspectives that we can ensure that AI is developed and deployed in a way that truly benefits humanity. It is certainly time to dismantle certain outdated narratives by embracing the power of interdisciplinary thinking. My panel, titled The Ethics Bug Fix Upgrade Tech to its Liberal Arts Version, is now open for public voting, and I've included the details of the same in the show notes below to help us bring the important conversation to a wider audience. I would urge you to vote for this session, and remember that by voting, you are an equal stakeholder in creating a more humane and equitable future for all of us. While writing Zakir Hussain's biography, A Life in Music, Nasreen Munni Kabir, in a conversation, asked him about his relationship with his instrument, the tabla. In his characteristic wit, he exclaimed, what he brought to the tabla was his openness and clarity, the two traits that form the bedrock of any innovative mindset. Just as Zakir Hussain pushed the boundaries of musical expression, we must push the boundaries of our thinking. We must break down the silos between disciplines and embrace the power of collaboration. By fostering a deeper understanding of the humanities and social sciences within the tech world, we can ensure that technology truly serves humanity rather than the other way around. This is not just about creating innovative products, it's about creating a better future for all. Zakir Hussain's life, the insights from Scott Hartley's book, the success stories of individuals like Shivani Siroya, and the urgent need for ethical AI development all point towards the same conclusion. The future belongs to those who can bridge the gap between technology and humanity. This requires a fundamental shift in our mindset around the educational systems and our approach to innovation. We must cultivate a generation of leaders who are not just technically proficient, but are also deeply empathetic, culturally aware, and equipped to navigate the complexities of the 21st century. Once again, I urge you to vote and support my South by Southwest panel, as by amplifying this message, we can inspire a new generation of innovators who will develop and use technology to build a more just, equitable, and sustainable future for all. Thank you for taking part in this conversation till its very end. I'm grateful to have your company in grief, in reflection, and in hope. Do share this episode with someone who will resonate with our conversation today. And if you haven't yet, then please do like, share, and subscribe to the Lock, Stock, and Barrel podcast wherever you podcast. I'll be sharing all the relevant links in the description box below for you. Until next week, take care.